Hey, what's good, y'all? This is Ryan Jackson from Ryan Jackson LLC coming at you once again. Hope y'all are having a great and blessed day. So a few days ago, I believe, so today is Friday. I believe this was Tuesday night or Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. There was a couple, a black couple. They were at a park in Atlanta. Um, a cop from the Atlanta PD rolls up on them. I guess he's doing his patrols. He approaches them. He tells them that the park is closed from 11 to 6 a.m. That the park is closed. He noticed that they had Ohio license plates, so he said, "Hey, I don't know if you guys know or not. I see you have Ohio license plates, and you probably I don't know if you know or were aware, but the park closes at 11 o'clock. It's closed from 11 to 6. So okay." So he asked them for their IDs. They give him, their identification, which I don't understand that at all. I mean, but I'm gonna get into that in a little bit. Ask them for the IDs. Um, Look them up, whatever. And he issues a citation, two citations, because it was a couple, man and woman. He issues them citations. Um, the man signs his citation. The black woman doesn't sign hers. So she asked the officer. Well, before that, she asked the officer for his name. So he gives her. He said, "I'm Officer." I can't remember his name. Gives her his name. Asks for his badge number. He gives her his badge number. I think three times, twice or three times. She asked for his first name. He said, "I'm not gonna give you my first name. I gave you my last name. I'm Officer such and such, and I gave you my badge number." He said, "Well, what's the badge number?" He said, "Ma'am, I gave it to you. I'm not gonna give it to you again." So he asked her. He said, "Are you gonna sign a citation?" She says, "Do I have to sign it?" He said, "No, you don't have to sign it." She said, "Well, I'm not signing it." So he says, "Okay." So he places her under arrest. That's when all hell breaks loose. Um, She didn't assault the officer, but she wasn't being compliant. She was on the ground. She was rolling on the ground, whatever. He trying to force the handcuffs on her. He pulling, tugging at her arm, at her shoulder, trying to put her in handcuffs. Um, One thing leads to another. He finally does. She's screaming and crying and carrying on. She's doing way too much. Um, and then backup comes. I believe it was three or four squad cars I saw in the video. Maybe what? I saw maybe five or six other officers. Now, these are all black men. All these officers are black men. They eventually put her in the squad car. Oh, while the struggle's ensuing, before the officers come, while the struggle's ensuing, she says, "I'm going to sign a citation. I sign it. I sign it." And he's like, "It's too late." No, it's too late. And so the boyfriend or husband, whatever he is, says, "Man, is all this necessary? This and that." And then so they eventually get the handcuffs on her, and she gets into the back of the squad car. The While this is going on, the boyfriend, husband, whatever he is, partner, he's filming all of this, videoing all of this while it's going on, while it's all going on. He said, "Is all this necessary?" He said, "She said that she was going to sign a citation." The officer said, "Yeah, after I put her in handcuffs, after she, was on the ground crying and screaming. That's when she decided that she wanted to sign a citation." But he says, so she's crying and carrying on. She complains of injuries to her back and her shoulder. And the officer said that he's going to take her to the hospital. I can't remember a hospital, but a local hospital there in Atlanta, and to get her checked out. My whole thing is this: they both were wrong. The officer was wrong, and the lady was wrong. The lady, she didn't have to do all that. She should have complied. I know I hate to say that, but she should have complied with the officer, signed the citation, let your attorney fight your battle in that situation because you're outnumbered. These terrorists don't care. Yes, black officers are terrorists. A lot of them are white supremacists and blackface. I'm going to repeat that again. A lot of these black police officers are white supremacist terrorists and blackface. They're just as bad or or are even worse than their white counterparts. Yes, they are, and I've witnessed it. I bear witness to it. They are. They're just as bad, if not worse, than their white counterparts. So the lady, she should have just signed a citation, whatever, and let her lawyer fight her battle. Or if she didn't want to fight the citation, you know what? I'm not going to sign it. And tell her boyfriend, husband, partner, whatever the hell he was, call the attorney and let it go from there. Now, in the state of Georgia, I found out that if you refuse to sign a citation, that it's against the law. It's against Georgia law. So, let your lawyer handle it from there. As far as the officer is concerned, he didn't have to give them a citation. I'm going to repeat that again. He did not have to give them a citation. He could have de-escalated the whole situation. He could have said, "Hey, I noticed you guys are from Ohio. I don't know if you guys know the rules of the Atlanta City Park, the city of Atlanta, their their mandates, whatever, what have you. But the park closes at 11 o'clock. I don't know if you guys were aware of this or not, but you guys need to leave. I'm not going to give you a citation. I'm just giving you a warning. Park closes this time from 11 to 6. You guys need to leave the park immediately and just wait there and make sure that they leave. Now, if they don't leave, then that's when you take action. But you wait there for them to leave. You ensure that they leave and they leave the park immediately. Case closed. All this is not necessary. Her making a scene, him calling backup, having 6 or 7 police there. It's not even necessary. It doesn't even have to go that route. You de-escalate it. You de-escalate it until further escalation is needed. You de-escalate, de-escalate, de-escalate. You de-escalate the situation. They taught us that in the military. They teach you that being security. They don't teach these officers that. The first thing you got to do is just be proactive. You gotta act. You gotta issue a citation. You gotta show force. That's your that's your first course of action. You de-escalate as much as possible until further action is needed. But you de-escalate. He could have just said, you know what? I'm just gonna give you guys a warning. I don't know if were aware of it, but the park is closed. You guys need to leave immediately. Tell them to get in their vehicle and leave, and make sure that they leave. All this wouldn't have been necessary. So some of this is his fault too. Well, half of it is his fault as well. And if you was going to call for backup, why didn't you call for a female officer? Say, hey, if the situation got out of hand like it did, call for a female officer. Say, hey, I need a female officer on scene. I have a lady who isn't being compliant. I need a female officer. Let her handle it. You step away. Let the female officer handle this woman. You could have done that. This was just a bad situation. Thank God it didn't get worse than what it did. Thank God for that. That no one was injured. Well, the lady claims she was injured, but I'm glad that no one lost their life. I'm glad that the lady wasn't murdered. Her boyfriend, husband, partner, whatever. I'm glad he wasn't hurt or murdered. And I'm glad the officers didn't get murdered or hurt, what so have you. Thank God that this didn't get worse than what it could have gone. Thank God. But it didn't have to get to the situation where it didn't have to go as far as what it did. It didn't have to go that far. Hit the like and subscribe button. Hit the like and subscribe button. Hit the notification bell so you get notifications of when I do videos on here. It didn't have to go this far. He could have de-escalated it. But that's what these officers do, man. They show force. They want to, a lot of black officers, they want to, beat their chest and, you know, want to be Billy Badass. So this is why people don't have respect for the police. They bring it on themselves. Some of the time, that's not the case, but most of the time that is the case. They bring it on themselves, and they can understand why the public don't trust them and they're not respected because 9 times out of 10 they don't de-escalate a situation. They show force. They want to brutalize us. Yes, black officers as well as white officers. A good brother of mine brought up an excellent point. He said if this was a black officer and the couple was white, would it have gone down this way? I don't think it would have. I don't think it would have. Or if the officer was white and the couple was black, it would have went down worse. It would have been worse. He probably would have put out guns and they probably would have shot him or whatever. But if it was a but if this officer, I can't remember his last name, but if this black officer had encountered a white couple, he wouldn't have done all that. He would not have done all that. I can guarantee it. Y'all may disagree with me on it. That's your prerogative. That's your right. But it wouldn't have went down like that. And y'all know it wouldn't have. Let's keep it a buck. It wouldn't have gone down that way. Race matters in America. People say, uh, particularly white people, y'all, you people want to make it about race. That's because y'all made it about race. It's always been about race. Stop it. It's always been about race. And this black officer would not have treated a white woman that way. He would not have treated a white woman that way. Let's be honest about this thing here, y'all. Let's keep it a buck. Y'all know he wouldn't have. And you got all these black men, black officers. I mean, and I think in the video, the boyfriend, husband, partner, whatever he was, said it. He said, "All of y'all for this incident here." But it's gonna be funny to see how this plays out. She probably have a court date, probably get fined. She's not gonna do no jail time. I think she just did jail time for that night. They probably released her on bail. She's gonna have a court date, and they probably gonna fine her. She's not gonna do any jail time, and we're gonna see what happens, what comes of it. The officer, nothing's gonna happen to him. Nothing's gonna happen to him at all. Should he be fired? Mm, I don't think he should be fired, but he could have handled this better. He could have handled this better. Maybe a 3-day suspension, I guess. Suspend him, I guess. But the lady was doing too much. She didn't do herself any favors. She did not do herself any favors. Suspend the officer, but because he could have de-escalated it. That's the only thing I see that he did wrong. He didn't de-escalate it. He did not de-escalate it. Maybe a 1 or 2 day suspension, I guess. I don't know. But they're not gonna fire him because in their minds it's not a fireable offense. Now, in Detroit, my hometown, there was a block party last weekend. The cops were out there. They were breaking up a block party. They were telling the participants in the party, "Hey, you guys need to evacuate. You guys need to leave." So it was a young black lady. She was leaving, but her car was in the opposite direction of where she was being evacuated. So she was walking toward her car. Well, a Detroit police officer punched her in the mouth. Punched her in the mouth. She got stitches in her lip, in her mouth. Got 4 stitches. If that wasn't bad enough, she went to complain to another officer about um, one of their fellow officers punching her in the face, in the mouth, and she was thrown to the ground. They took the woman and threw her to the ground. The video is out there. Just go on YouTube and search Detroit police assault black woman, and the video should come up. It's going to be on a Detroit news, Detroit News, one of the Detroit News affiliates, but the video's on there. They threw this poor woman down, and then when she goes to get up, whatever, a white officer pushes her down again. Pushes this woman down. It's on video. The young woman was grabbing her leg. Now she's going to be in a wheelchair for 2 months. 2 months. She has a fractured pelvis, a fractured or broken pelvis from being pushed to the ground by Detroit police. She's going to be in a wheelchair until October. Got stitches in her mouth, on her lip, I believe. Now it was more people out there than police. That's when they should have pulled up on the police. They should have rolled up on them, and they should have defended that sister. They should have defended that young lady. They should have threw hands against those police officers, grabbed guns, bottles, whatever, because that was an assault. That was an assault on a citizen, unjustifiable assault on an unarmed citizen. That's when they should have threw hands. They should have came up against the police and bum rushed them. I don't advocate violence. I advocate people defending themselves. I don't care if it is the police. We as citizens, we have rights. We have a right to defend ourselves. I don't advocate people going out here starting stuff against anyone, including the police. But you need to defend yourselves. We need to defend ourselves, y'all. A lot of us were brought up by our parents to defend ourselves. I don't care who it is. You don't assault a woman. That is a terrorist attack. And that requires us to defend her and against the police, against anybody. Had that been a citizen or a young thug, y'all would have stepped in. Well, I don't know. Some of y'all probably wouldn't have, but a lot of people would have stepped up and would have defended her. Some people would have, but since it's the police, that gives them the right to assault people, to just throw people down because they have a gun in the badge, because they state sponsored. Come on, y'all. No, I don't advocate violence. I advocate people defending themselves. And if it requires violence, then so be it. But you're defending yourself. Malcolm X said it best. Be peaceful. Obey the law. But if someone put their hands on you, you send them to the cemetery. And I'm all for that 1,000%. 1,000%. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button so you get notifications when I do videos on here. But yeah, y'all, that was some BS. Now this young lady's gonna be in a wheelchair for 2 months. over some terrorist BS. It's crazy out here. Y'all be safe, man. Y'all be safe. Ladies, women, be safe. Be safe out here. If you can help it, don't go anywhere alone, especially at night. Especially at night. It's sad that we live in a time now where, you can't even walk out your front door without being, you know, attacked or even shot. It's sad that we're living in the Hunger Games out here. Ladies, be safe. Brothers, be safe. Sisters, be safe, be safe. Brothers, y'all be safe out here. We're not exempt either. We are not exempt. You can't depend on Johnny Law, as you can see. They're not going to protect and serve us. We got to protect and serve ourselves. And I've been saying this. Black people, and this goes for me too, for me as well, take weapons safety classes. Take gun safety classes. Get y'all guns. Get y'all firearms. We have that right under the Second Amendment. Get y'all firearms. Get one, two, three, as many as you can. Defend yourself out here. You have the right to bear arms. It's guaranteed that to us in the Second Amendment. Take gun safety classes and purchase y'all a gun or guns. Please, Black people, do that. Goes to me as well. So I'm preaching to myself and I'm preaching to y'all. On that note, y'all take care. I love y'all. Be safe out here in these streets. Take care of yourselves and each other. Until next time, I'll see y'all. All right. God bless. I love y'all and take care. I'm out. Peace.